George on this one. Actually, George, the reason why George couldn't be here is because he told me it's his night to do the dishes.
He's got to do what he's told.
Yeah, he's got to do what he's told. You know what? I had to be here. I was so excited when I heard y'all do another video. And because I've always wanted to sing with you. And I've always wanted to sing with you, Ivan. And you know, a lot of people, hi, Anthony. Y'all may not know this, but I was a hyperactive child, and I know that's hard to believe. Had a teacher in the 6th grade. You ever heard of her, Miss Barth? I had a teacher, Miss Barth. She hated
Barth?
me. Barth.
Oh, Barth.
B-A-R-T-H, not Barth.
I had one that made me want to barf.
Mine was a big lady. She had thighs and separate zip codes. She's the only teacher I ever had who could turn around once and erase a whole blackboard. And she had this huge hairdo. You remember back in the 60s when ladies wore them big old hairdos, looked like tin cow patties with a hairnet over it. And she never tacked hers down real good, and it was like a loose demon-possessed poodle on her head. And she had a thing worked out with my dad, Ivan, called 2 for the price of 1. You get a whipping at school, you get a whipping at home, yeah. I was watching some pseudo-psychological idiot on TV the other day saying, oh, don't ever spank your children. It'll squelch their personality. I thought, well, who beat the tar out of you, lady? My mama squelched my personality all over the house. You've been shook so hard, spit flies out of your mouth, swings around, slaps you on the back of the head. You ain't had a happy childhood. It's those same people tell you not to spank your kids that tell you not to cook your vegetables. They're all Yankees. Oh, you know what they say. Oh, don't overcook the vegetables. You'll cook the vitamins out of the vegetables. Have you ever smelt a bottle of vitamins? They stink. That's why you got to cook the vitamins out of those vegetables. Cook that broccoli till it's yellow. Then pour cheese sauce over it. But I'd sit in the back of this teacher's class and I'd do my best to keep my hyperactive brain occupied. And I'd make up words that only I knew what they meant. And Miss Barth, and the reason she hated me was the way I did pronounce her name. I'd come into class every day, I'd say, hello, Miss Barth. And you know what's funny to a 6th grader is not always funny to an adult. And I'd sit back there and make up words. Well, she found a letter I'd written one day with these words that I made up. And she came waddling over to me, Anthony, with that letter in her hand. You could hear her coming. Her thighs were apologizing to each other. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. She wore corduroy breeches to school one day and started 6 fires. And she stuck that letter in my face, started shaking that head, that dew started flopping, and she said, Mark, what is this? I said, can't you read? She said, why don't you write something that makes sense? I said, okay, I will. So the next day I took her a letter that said, Dear Miss Barth, your feeble attempt to participate in any intelligent conversation only goes to exaggerate your already pathetic lack of mental ability. Sincerely, Mark Lowry. I got a 3-day vacation. Worst part of that day is Daddy came home. He came into my room where I was waiting on him. He said, Mark, no one in this family has ever been expelled from school. I thought, well, I'm making history. Then he said, Mark, if you ever, don't you laugh while I'm talking to you, boy. I thought, well, then quit looking like Popeye. If you ever write anything like that again, don't sign it. And I'd come home from Miss Bart's class every day, y'all. And, you know, I'd listen to your records when I was just a kid. And Ivan, yours too. And songs got me through my hyperactive childhood. I mean, songs. It was songs. I'd come home not with notes on my lapel, but novels from my teachers. What I had done. And And I just want to sing with you guys. I mean, I've even got a part for you, Anthony, really. And,
Well, we didn't know you was going to sing.
well, yeah, I am. And these are songs that minister to me. And carry on, you can sing along with us. You too, George. Here's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold, like their mother, the youngest one in curls. Here's a story of a man named Brady who was busy with three boys of his own. They were four men living all together, yet they were bored to the bone.
Till one day when this lady met this fellow,
Oh, yes.
and they knew that it was much more than a hunch, that this group must someday form a family. That's the way they all became the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. That's the way they became the Brady Bunch.
Did you hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship? First mate was a mighty sailor man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour.
Sing it out.
Listen to the story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer barely kept his lily fed. Then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude.
Green Acres is the place to be, for living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide, keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside. You'll get to sing in a minute. Just go play piano or something. They're creepy and they're spooky, mysterious and kooky. They're all together ooky. Their house is a museum. When people come to see them, they really are a scream. Sweet